Hello and welcome again. I'm very excited about this episode. I'm doing this as a response to a question I've been asked by one of my subscribers. And he is asking, what is a Korvai and how can I understand the internal mathematics of it and maybe make one of my own. So firstly, what is a Korvai? Some of you might not know what it is. A Korvai is simply a format of South Indian rhythmic composition. Okay, it's a very ancient, it's a very ancient format, like Konnakol itself. It's a, some say, 5,000 years old tradition. So there has been so many Korvais composed and so much embellishment and variation that it's really impossible for me to put all this in a 10-minute YouTube video. But I'm gonna try to explain to you the very basics of Konnakol. So hopefully by next time that you hear one, you can identify it, or if you want to compose one, maybe you can try and have a go. So Korvai is usually the climax of a percussion solo. Okay, so usually in a South Indian Carnatic music concert, there's what they call the percussion solo, or usually a very long percussion solo, Tani Avartanam, they call it. And in the end of the Tani, the solo, the percussionist will play the Korvai usually in unison, or just each one of the percussionists will play one phrase and so on. There will be kind of a call and response kind of thing going on. But without getting into too much details, a Korvai as a format uses a few, we're going to talk about three important, very basic rules. Again, this is very basic. So the first rule is that Korvai is divided into two, part A and part B. Part A would usually use the syllable ta, taka, takita, or takadimi. Okay, again, usually, basically. There's a lot of embellishment on that as well, but that will identify usually a part A of a Korvai. Part B will always use tadiginadom. Tadiginadom, which is the syllables for 5. Okay, the syllable for 5, tadiginadom, has a lot of variations. Only tadiginadom itself, for instance, it could be a 6 as well. Tadiginadom, tadiginadom, that's a 6, as opposed to tadiginadom, tadiginadom, which is a 5, or tadiginadom, tadiginadom, which is a 7. Okay, so some form of ta, taka, takita, takadimi for A part, and some form, shape or form of tadiginadom for the B part. And that is very nice because it differentiates the two parts from one another. Okay, the second very important rule in Korvai is the reduction or expansion, rhythmic reduction or rhythmic expansion. And now what do I mean by that? When you are reducing, when you are in reduction, what you do is you take a long rhythmic phrase, say ta di taka jono takata, ta di taka jono takata. That's a long phrase, it's 3-bit long, and now we're going to reduce it. Instead of ta di taka jono takata, we will say di taka jono takata, and then we say taka jono takata, jono takata, takata. So we are reducing almost to a 0 point, so to speak. Okay, so that's reduction. Expansion, on the other hand, will always add to, we will usually take a short phrase and we will add and add. So another example, actually this example is from the Korvai I'm going to try and teach you today. Tatang, short phrase, and then second variation, takatang, a little expansion. Takitatang, that's the third variation, even longer. Okay? Tatang, takatang, takitatang. Okay, so you see, we're getting longer and longer and longer. That is expansion. Okay, that's the second very important rule. The third very, very important rule, again, is there's always going to be some kind of repetitions of 3. Okay, either we play the a phrase 3 times, or we will do 3 variations, or some shape or form of the number 3. Okay, and all that together can form a nice Korvai. And the Korvai I'm going to show you today is a very, very simple and very short Korvai that was shown to me by my teacher, Paramasani Kurupakaran, master percussionist, who showed me this little Korvai. And it goes like this, as I said before. Tatang, takatang, takitatang. So ta is 1, tang is 3. So it's like takita, which is 3, but in this case we say tang instead of takita. So takita, 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 tang, tang, tang. You see, it's the same length, but using a little bit of a different syllables. So it's just to make it a bit more spicy. Okay, takita is very obvious. Tang is a bit less obvious, but it's still 3. So ta and then tang. So 1 and then 3 will give us altogether 4. And that is the first phrase. Tatang, 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 tatang. Second phrase, takatang. Okay, so we have taka, which is 2, and then tang, which is takita, or 3. So taka, tang. 2, 3, 5 altogether. And then takita tang, which is 3, and then another 3 will give us 6 altogether. So we have tatang, 4, takatang, 5, takitatang, 6. Okay, and this Korvai, I forgot to mention, is in 8-bit cycle. It's actually 8-bit long in 8-bit cycle, and the internal subdivision is 16th note. So 8-bit cycle, that's called aditalam. The internal subdivision is 16th note, or 4 syllables per beat, which is called chatusra nadai. Okay, so aditalam, chatusra nadai. And it goes like this. This is only the A part. Tatang, takatang, takitatang. Again. Tatang, takatang, takitatang. Okay, you might want to practice this first, just to get used to it. And this is part A. Part B, we say dadiginadom, which is 3 times. Again, we are mentioning again that there is always a repetition of 3. So 3 times dadiginadom, but we are going to add 1/16th note between the first and the second, and then between the second and the third, like this. Tadiginadom, 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 like this. Let's see how the whole thing works. And it goes like this. 5, 6, 7, 8. Tatang, takatang, takitatang. Tadiginadom, tadiginadom, tadiginadom ta. Okay, once more. Tatang, takatang, takitatang. Tadiginadom, tadiginadom, tadiginadom ta. Okay, so that is the whole Korvai. So again, we have an expansion in the A part. We have repetition of 3. There are 3 variation in the A part, and 3 times dadiginadom in the B part. Okay, so we have A, B, we have expansion in this case, and repetition of 3. So it fits nicely into all those rules. Okay, so this is a very, very extremely basic, simple Korvai. In actual fact, this is only a part of a Korvai, which is a longer. There is a longer variation of this. but I thought it will be a nice example, a nice short example and simple example to just to get into it. So hopefully by the end of this video, after you practiced a little bit this Korvai, you'll be able to identify a Korvai when you go and hear some Carnatic percussion performance, or hear it on YouTube, or hear a Konnakol performance. You'll be able to hear the Korvai. So, okay, so you'll be able to identify all those elements. So yeah, this is again very basic, very basic type of Korvais. There have been thousands and thousands of different Korvais from thousands of years. So I would really recommend that you check this further and see how you get on with this, or try to compose your own. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much.